Shout out to Doechii, man, who did her thing, who is who she is. She's not the bootleg version of anyone. She is a woman that is comfortable in her own skin and she loves it. And I will tell you this, I do love to see, especially when a woman is a dark-skinned woman, be comfortable in her own skin and take over. I love that. Absolutely love it. She was a total majestic angel in Paris. But let's go into being like Doechii and just being you and not being a bootleg version. So listen, we all know that there's a real original and then there's a bootleg, right? And unfortunately, a lot of women, instead of becoming the best version of themselves, they rather be a bootleg version of another woman, and they aspire to be a bootleg version of another woman instead. Now, majority of women do this, okay? More women do this than women who don't do this. I'm going to talk about Doechii and Ice Spice a little bit towards the end of the video. I want to talk about the bootleg and duplication process that women engage in first. And we're going to get to Doechii and Ice Spice in a second, but I got to talk about this whole bootleg thing. So men engage. If a man meets a woman that they're intimidated by, they domesticate them. If a woman meets a woman that she's intimidated by, she duplicates her. Okay? Men domesticate, women duplicate. You heard it here first. Men domesticate, women duplicate. So it gets to the point where even spiritually, some women are walking around siphoning other women. We talk about how men siphon women. Women siphon women too, because some women, they're talking about you, they're gossiping about you, they're talking about you to people in the workplace, they're gossiping about you to family, they're talking about you in the friend group. Some women are talking about you virtually. Some women, they're talking about you online, throwing shade. You want to know why? Because that's the only way they'll get attention. You know, like even in the religious community, there's this one religious person that keeps talking about this other religious person. Every single thing you do, everything you do, you're talking about this person. Leave them alone. Why do you keep talking about them? Why is everything that you create about them? Oh, I know why. I know. Because you're bootleg. You're the bootleg version. They're the original, and you're mad about it. So now you got to keep talking about this person in a negative way, because that's the only way you'll get attention. Some of you guys don't understand. Your energy is so powerful that the only way somebody will even pay attention to a loser is if that loser has your name in their mouth. Outside of that, nobody cares about them. That's why women start fake beef. That's why women start imaginary beef. A woman will start imaginary beef with a woman that she is jealous or envious of because nobody finds her interesting. She's a bore. She puts people to sleep. She's a walking melatonin capsule. She's not interesting. So she's jealous of you in your light, and she's going to create an imaginary beef with you because that's the only way attention will be drawn to her. That is how low some people are. When Ice Spice tried to say that Doechii, or allegedly it was said that Doechii's okay, but she's probably going to use being dark-skinned as a way to get attention. What? She's going to get attention because she's talented. What do you mean she's going to use being dark-skinned? Okay, exactly. Talking negatively about somebody, siphoning them so that can get out there so it can draw more attention to you, right? She has no personality. Okay, so let me tell you about this whole bootleg thing. A lot of women like to be a bootleg version of a woman that they aspire to be or that they're jealous of. Okay, let me tell you this. I have this sixth sense where I can meet a woman and I can tell if she is being the authentic version of herself or if her personality is copy paste or stolen or bootleg. I don't know why. I just can tell if a woman is really being herself or if she's trying to be a version of another person. Even if I don't know this woman, I can tell if a woman is confident. I could tell if a woman is sure of herself. I can tell because why? Energy doesn't lie. That's just like when you watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta. That season when Cynthia was trying to be a mean girl, or she was trying to be, a Kenya 2.0, and every time she would call out Phaedra, it was just crickets, because it's like, babe, it's not sticking. Like, you're trying to present yourself as this tough chick you can't be messed with, but that's not you. So because it's not you, when you try to act tough, it makes everybody uncomfortable because it's not you. And a lot of women, the reason why they don't stand out is because they're not being themselves. They're being a 2.0 or a bootleg version of another woman that they are jealous of, intimidated by, envious of. They try to steal her personality, her character, her flow, and then first of all, if you are trying to be a duplicate of somebody else, people are going to spot it and they're going to call you out on it. Women don't like that, right? That's when they start deleting comments, and that's when they start, going online saying that's not true, or going on interviews saying, oh no, I'm not trying to be her, or they will try to flip the script. Like, women don't like being called out on their duplication process that they do. Men do domestication, women do duplication. Meaning, if a man meets a woman that he's intimidated by, he's going to break her down, lower her, make her feel bad about herself, make her feel insecure, humble her. He's going to domesticate her and groom her to be domesticated. When a woman meets another woman that she's threatened by, she's going to duplicate her. She's going to try to be a replica. He's going to try to duplicate her personality, the way that she dresses, her flow. I know men and women so well. So it's like nothing, I promise to God, you will not get away with anything. I know men and women way too well. I know their tactics, and I know the way that they approach life. Women like to be a duplicate of other women. If they're not confident and they don't know themselves, and internally they're battling with self-esteem issues or identity. A lot of women have identity issues. They're going through an identity crisis. So they will try to, instead of fixing themselves and working on themselves and becoming a better version of themselves, they are going to try to morph themselves into another woman that they look up to. They're going to try to become her instead. So with Doechii and Ice Spice, I was looking at them, right? We all know that Ice Spice has a history of copy and pasting, okay? She has a history of that. She did that with, what's the other girl's name? I forgot her name. You guys know the other girl, her dark-skinned friend. She did that with her. She came out with a song that sounded just like Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj's song, what is the song? What was the Shanghai. Nicki Minaj has a song called Shanghai. Ice Spice took, in my opinion, if you hear the song allegedly, in my opinion, she took the whole flow of Shanghai, tried to remix it a little bit, and then put out her song. And this is the thing, this is what women don't understand. When you're trying to copy and paste and be a duplicate of another woman, people are going to see what you're doing. People are going to see it, and they're going to comment on it, and they're going to say something about it. And that's when women start freaking out and they start backpedaling. When she came out with that song, everybody was commenting, Shanghai, 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 Nicki Minaj, Shanghai, Shanghai. They spammed her. Everybody was like, this sounds like Shanghai, Nicki, at Nicki, at Nicki, at Nicki, at Nicki. You are not going to be able to be the bootleg version of another person for long. It's just a matter of time before people start to call you out. Now, maybe you guys can leave this in the comment section. Why do women want to be another woman's replica? I've never understood it because I've never met a woman that I wanted to be like. I've always thought that I was just phenomenal. I've never met another woman where I'm like, oh, I want to start dressing like her. I want to start talking like her. I want to start being like her. I want to start looking like her. I want to start hanging out in her circle. I've never met a woman that I cared for on that level where I wanted to change my identity to morph into her. But I would like to ask you guys to comment what is the fascination with going through that process? Why try to be another person when you can just perfect yourself? I personally think that there's some mental illness involved. I personally think there's some type of personality disorder involved, underlying, that may not be diagnosed, because the way that these women will work overtime to be a woman's bootleg, it's scary. Like, they spend so much time studying their target, studying their target's hair, studying their target's style, studying their target's personality, studying their target's flow. It's a lot of work to try to be someone's replica. That's a lot of work that a lot of women enjoy doing. So, Doechii and Ice Spice. I saw Doechii when she was at the Fashion Week, I believe it was, in Paris. She took over, okay? Her presence, Doechii has glamour and Doechii has presence. So when she steps in, everybody spots her, everybody notices her. She doesn't have to try very hard, okay? She had her hair, she had this outfit, she's tall, she's slim. Doechii is a beautiful woman. And the fact that she's a dark-skinned woman, I know that drives a lot of people up a wall. For a dark-skinned woman to be beautiful and getting attention, that's very difficult for a lot of people to digest. It is. It's very difficult for a lot of people to digest that. I think Doechii's a stunner. Here comes Ice Spice on the red carpet, and I'm looking at her. And again, remember I told you I have that sixth sense. She's not confident. She is, okay. Women like Ice Spice who get their personality from other women, who are the bootleg version, or they secretly have a host, or they secretly have a person. Remember, I talked about this in the narcissistic video. They secretly have a person that they are trying to be a replica of. Those type of women, when they don't have a woman around them, they look like how she looked on the red carpet. Lost, insecure, no identity, confused, face looking like she's constipated. That is what happens to women when they lose their identity. Because those women who have to latch onto another woman to have a style, Ice Spice usually, just like what she did with her friend Cleopatra, those type of women, they have to have a host to latch onto and mirror. When they no longer have a mirror, they look like how she looked on that red carpet, confused, out of place, just looking like she's on cloud nine, because she doesn't have her own identity. A lot of women are like that. If they don't have a woman under their belt that they are secretly replicating and stealing her personality, they have no personality. Me, my personality is very potent. That's why I get sometimes, I get a hate from women I don't even know, because my personality, it's mine. And that is exactly why I can't really do close friendships with women, because it turns into an enmeshment thing where they start trying to become me, and I don't have time for that. I'm too busy to even deal with that. I like women who have their own identity. I like women who are themselves. I like women who, they like who they are and they're trying to become better at who they are, and they're trying to advance who they are, and they're trying to perfect who they are. Those are the kind of women I have around me. I don't have women who look to me to try to enmesh themselves and become me. Those are women who are lost. Those are women who have to do a lot of soul searching to find who they really are and work on who they really are and perfect who they really are. Not women who go through life trying to be a bootleg version of another person. I stay away from women like that. And I usually can tell if a woman's personality is hers or if her personality is stolen. I can't explain how I'm able to do this, but I know. Because a woman who's being herself, it flows. She flows. Like, her energy is potent, it's powerful, she flows. But some women, they're not flowing. It's like you can sense that something is missing, something is imbalanced, right? You can sense it. So, for example, I already talked about Cynthia when she was on The Real Housewives, and how that season where she was like trying to be tough and it just wasn't sticking, and everybody was like, girl, please, like, You cannot read anyone. That's just not your personality. It's not sticking. And that's okay. You're just not a confrontational person. You're just an introverted, quiet styled person. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's when you're trying to be something that you're not, that it looks strange, right? It looks strange when you're trying to copy paste, and it's crazy because the people that people are trying to replicate, like Aaliyah, they always want to get rid of the blueprint. People want to copy the blueprint and use the blueprint for inspo, but their ultimate goal is to destroy the blueprint and get the blueprint out of the way so that they can continue to fake who they are, but they won't be able to uphold it for a long time. That's exactly why, believe it or not, oh my God, I'm going to say this. I just got to download. I have to say this because I have to keep it real. This is exactly why, and I like her too, but this is kind of why Cardi's career flopped, because she was riding Nicki's coattail. She was doing she was siphoning Nicki a lot, the random arguments, the imaginary beef, the imaginary competition, trying to get on the same records as her, trying to get near people that she's near. After Nicki paid her dust, her career kind of flopped because now she doesn't really have anybody to siphon. And a lot of women are going through life trying to siphon another woman or replicate another woman, duplicate another woman, ride off of another woman's energy, creative. Some women only get views from bashing other women. Some people, your energy is so powerful that the only time someone will even pay attention to another person is if your name is in their mouth. Some people get clout off of just talking about you. That's how powerful you are. They are not interesting. They are not interesting people. So the only way they'll get views is if you're the one that they're talking about, because nobody cares about them. They are not interesting. And they know that. So the only way they'll get attention is when your name is in their mouth, because they're not interesting. Okay. And that's just the facts. That's just the facts. And shout out to Doechii. Looked amazing. Absolutely loved her. Beautiful girl, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Hope she makes it far. It's so crazy that there's so many colors. That's so much colorism. And the colorism is showing in the Black community. I'm not going to name any names. But if you do your research, a lot of people are pissed that Doechii, a dark-skinned Black woman, a lot of people in the Black community, are pissed that Doechii is getting attention because she's dark-skinned. And let's just say a lot of the light-skinned girls are mad. They're mad. They are mad.